What's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I will be reviewing the new Fenty Beauty bronzers. So I actually just only picked up one. I picked up Island Ting. So yeah, so I'm actually shade 290 in Fenty Beauty foundation. So this is for the 200. So the 200s actually has two bronzers that could go with it. So you could probably be Private Island or Island Ting. I decided to go with the darker bronzer just so that I could use a little bit less when trying it on. And then I tried them on in store and I don't think you can see it at all. But this one right here is Private Island and this one right here is Island Ting, and I thought Island Ting was a bit more neutral. So yeah, this is a unicorn carton. It's very similar to her other stuff too. Alright you guys, so this is the outside packaging. It is really beautiful. It's like kind of like a mirror chrome, a little bit different than her other packaging. So alright you guys, so this is the inside of the bronzer. It is not shimmery at all. It is totally matte, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick little swatch. And this is what the bronzer looks like sheared out. I really like Fenty Beauty face products. I've been using them for a while right now. The foundation I use right now is 290 to kind of give you guys an idea of what I wear. And I also wear in the concealer 290. I do think the foundation is a little bit dark on me right now just because I had bought this foundation after I had been in Colombia for a whole month and I was super tan, and then I went and bought this color and I didn't realize like, oh, you know, my skin's gonna lighten up throughout the winter. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually using a ton of Fenty Beauty products. Usually when I do a review, I try to stick to the same brand. So I will be starting off with the foundation, the concealer, I have a highlighter by them, a liquid lipstick, eyeshadow palette, so we're just gonna go straight on Fenty Beauty. The only thing that isn't really Fenty Beauty is I actually picked up the new Milk Hydro Primer, and everyone is saying that this is like really hydrating. Alright, so I'm gonna pump a little bit onto my skin. So this primer is from Milk Makeup. This is the new Hydro Grip Primer, and I decided to get the mini size just to try it, and I really wanted to try this out because it's supposed to be like a hydro grip primer, meaning it's gonna like keep your foundation from moving, which I need because sometimes I feel like my foundation sort of slides off my face. Alright, so that primer is super hydrating. I'm just gonna really like press that into my skin. So what I'm gonna do is put on a little bit of the foundation kind of like down here and here, just kind of like in the more tan areas, and I'm really gonna load up on a lot of concealer. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of foundation. Gotta have to move fast with Fenty Beauty foundation and concealer because it does dry down super fast. So yeah, I'm just gonna apply that like around my face, and then I'm gonna load up a lot on the concealer, like on the center of my face, because that's really what I want to highlight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and load up with some of the 290 concealer, which is a little bit lighter. And this concealer goes with the 290 foundation. And I'm gonna kind of mix the concealer with the foundation. And kind of mixing it with the foundation here and blending it all out together. I spend so much time blending out like the base. So yeah, I really do love this foundation. I just feel like it makes your skin look really flawless, and it just gives you like that soft matte finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit of powder, the Fenty Beauty powder in Banana, and then I will get straight into the bronzer. So what I like to do is just dust off a little bit of powder on my hand. So this powder from Fenty Beauty, it is very matte. Some people say that it's a little bit drying. I personally think that it depends on the way you apply it. Like, I don't recommend using this to bake if you do have really dry skin. If you have oily skin, then that's totally fine. But if you have like more normal to dry skin, I would definitely just do what I'm doing, put it on your hand like this, and then like dust it all over. But it does make your pores flawless. Like, literally makes your skin so nice. I always really like using it. Like, I look forward to using this powder. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of dust it all over my skin. Alright you guys, so I'm gonna pick up my favorite brush that I use to contour. This is the Sigma Large Angled Contour. I use this brush, and there's another brush that I really like to use, and this is the Sigma Small Contour in F05, and this one is the Large Angled in F40. I really enjoy using this one. I feel like it kind of just hugs your face. Oh, and by the way guys, I'm actually a Sigma affiliate now, and I'm really happy about this because they're actually one of my favorite brush brands, and they have a free 2-year warranty, which I'm really happy about. So you can use my code, it's Drea10 for money off. Feel free to use that. So this is what the bronzer looks like. This is Island Ting, and you can see there's no shimmer, nothing, completely matte. So I noticed that when you do put your brush in, there's like minimal to no fallout, which is really nice. So the way I like to apply bronzer is kind of like a 3. So I go here in my forehead, down here, and also here. So I'm just gonna start in my cheeks first. Alright, so I'm just applying it on my cheeks, kind of going back and forth, and I noticed right away that it isn't like too strong, even though I did pick the darker color, which was Island Ting. I feel like this bronzer is definitely buildable. It isn't like some other bronzers that I've used where you dip your brush into the bronzer, put it on your skin, and like you really have to blend out. You can tell like it's not like that. It's pretty soft, and then you kind of blend out, which is nice. I'd rather it be buildable. Alright guys, so I like to kind of hold my brush like this too afterwards and just really blend everything together. I sort of start like this and like kind of apply the bronzer and then warm it up like this. And now I'm going to do the whole 3 thing where I apply it to my forehead and then bring it down. And I always make sure to kind of go into my hairline, because I feel like that's how you can tell if someone's wearing bronzer, is if they have it really dark here and then their scalp is a little bit lighter. So I always make sure I bring it into my hairline like this. Alright, so what I like to do, since I have a square ass head, is I like to bring the bronzer here and also bring it down below. Oh, my earring. So yeah, I bring it here and then I also bring it a little bit below as well. And yeah, always make sure you're bringing your bronzer down to your neck, because that's really how you can tell if someone's like wearing makeup. Alright guys, so I'm actually picking up this Jeffree Star and Morphe brush, and it's the JS3, and I'm going to use that to contour my nose just because it's smaller than anything else I have. And I'm going to dip a little bit right here, dust it off because I don't want too much on my nose, and I'm just going to apply that. And I usually start all the way up here from the bridge of my nose and bring it down, and then underneath here. Oh, ho, ho. Ooh, that shit is pigmented. Okay, I think I definitely, okay. Alright, so I'm gonna get my foundation and brush and fix that. We're gonna redo it. I gotta be a lot more gentler. So I'm gonna apply this and then kind of dust off a little bit on there. And now we can do it. So I actually don't think these bronzers are really meant to contour. Like I feel like with contouring you want to use like a grayish shade, and I feel like this is really just meant to warm up. But I just kind of want to see like what it would look like if I did try to contour. So yeah, that's usually what I do. I really don't do a lot. Sometimes I feel like when I contour my nose I actually make it look worse than what it is. So yeah. Alright you guys, so this is what it looks like so far on my skin. I think it looks pretty. I think it just looks like a really nice healthy bronze. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the other side. I do feel like on this face though, I feel like on this side though, something that I did notice is it looks a little bit darker here and blotchy, and I don't even think this has anything to do with the bronzer. I just think because I have a little bit of peach fuzz underneath my skin, I always notice that, which is super annoying. And I actually only noticed it on this side of my face, but I feel like when I do my bronzer on this side, you guys aren't gonna notice it. So let's try it this side now and see how it looks. I'm just dipping back into the bronzer, and I'm gonna kind of go like this and apply it. And I usually apply it like going down like this and bringing it up. And now I'm gonna, okay, so now you guys are gonna notice I'm kind of flipping the brush now to kind of warm it up right here and bring it up here into the cheekbones. Alright, so I am gonna spend a little bit of time with buffing that out, and I'm actually picking up the Sigma Small Contour Brush, and I'm going to just really buff everything out and really warm up the skin. I'm gonna go ahead and do my forehead and then my chin. And like I said, make sure you really like bring in the bronzer onto your hairline, because that is how people can tell if you are wearing bronzer. Alright you guys, so now I'm going to bring it to my chin, and I like to kind of go like this and then bring it down onto my neck just to kind of warm everything up. Alright you guys, so this is what it looks like now. For some reason I like the side of my face better with the bronzer. I think it's because it kind of clinged onto the peach fuzz right here, and it kind of created like a little bit darker here, like a little bit of blotchiness, and that just always happens for some reason with bronzer. So I did try to kind of stop that when applying the powder, but it still kind of happened anyways. So yeah, I'm a little bit more happier with this side, so I'm probably just gonna go onto the camera more like this. Alright you guys, so I actually want to apply some setting spray, because whenever I apply setting spray, I feel like it just kind of tones down my makeup a bit. But before I do that, I'm gonna apply a little bit. I just scratched off a bunch here. Okay, this just slipped out of my fingers and I made a huge dent right here, but that's okay. Alright you guys, so I'm actually gonna apply the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wipe. I have not used this highlighter in a really long time. I'm using the Sigma Tapered Highlighter in F35. And it is really, really tapered. I use this actually for powder and highlight, and it just kind of gets into the little crevices right here. So I'm using the ColourPop All-Star Setting Spray. Alright you guys, so I actually was watching Alyssa Ashley's review, and I noticed that she used a bronzer on her eyelids kind of like as a transition shade, so I'm going to do the same to kind of see what it looks like. So I'm just grabbing this blending brush from e.l.f. and I'm dipping into the bronzer, and I'm just going to apply that as my transition shade and into my crease. Oh yeah, and I also wanted to mention, you guys see how now that my setting spray has dried down, like I feel like the bronzer looks a lot better now. So I had a little bit of blotchiness here, and I feel like it's much better now. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually grab a trophy wipe and just use this large shader brush from Sigma and E60 and just apply that to my lid. So off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and do mascara, but on camera, I'm gonna put on the color Unattached. It's the Stunna lip paint, and this is one of the newer lip paints, just so you guys can see what it looks like on the lips. Alright you guys, so overall I did really enjoy using this bronzer. I feel like I'm definitely going to get a lot of use out of it in the summer. I feel like right now it might be a little bit dark for me, but I feel like in the summertime this is definitely going to be my go-to. Overall, I really do like this bronzer. I just really like the fact that it is matte and it does not have any shimmer, and I like the fact that it is like a pressed powder because it is very buildable, whereas I have this other bronzer that I use, it's the Hourglass one, and when I apply it to my skin, there's a lot that comes off because when you put your brush into it, it has a lot of fallout, and when you put it onto your skin, you can see it there, and then you really have to blend out, and that's what Alyssa Ashley talked about in her video, how this is a pressed powder, so it's more buildable. So I like that. So if you're really looking for something more buildable and something very neutral, I definitely recommend the Island Thing one. I can't really talk about the other colors because I didn't try them on, but as for this one, I really was happy with it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This bronzer is now available in stores at Sephora. That's where I actually picked it up this morning, and it is available online, and it retails for $30. So it's a little bit less than her highlighters. Her highlighters are usually $32, $34, $36, but this one is only $30. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at beautybyjfe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.